Look at this dude.
Whoosh, everybody, welcome back to another video. Hey man, if you haven't already then, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Smash the like button, click that bell while you're at it so you can be a part of the Post Noti Gang family. Best family on YouTube. That's no cap, hands down. Yeah. Hey man, we are here for one reason only. We got Casual Geographic. Dogs that will send you to dog backwards. I do not know what the title means. Will send you to dog backwards. What does that mean? God? Oh, God. So dogs will send you to God backwards. Just send you to God. Okay, all right. Let's talk more reacting. Let's dive into this video, y'all. Let's go.
These are the dogs that would take the leash off and walk you. Because a lot of y'all have gotten way too confident. I've said it before, but one way to see how a guy's
these are just gonna be a bunch of badass dogs, bro.
mind works is to ask him, what's the biggest animal you could beat in a fight? And if you want to see how highly he thinks of himself, ask him, what's the biggest dog he could take down? Or if there's even one alive that he couldn't. TikTok has taught me a majority of y'all are KOing anything canine. Allegedly. Now in their defense, there's over 350 breeds of dogs and the average man is bodying most of them.
350? For some reason, that's a lot of different breeds, but at the same time, why do I feel like that's not that many breeds of dogs? 350 breeds? I mean, I guess that is a lot. That's like 350 different races. Cultures. I mean, yeah.
Dogs are built for friendship, some quite literally, and they're descended from a pack hunter who really isn't about the one-on-ones. Plus, dogs have one real way of delivering damage, and unless they have the size to make up for it, most dogs can't go band for band with the average man. The thing about size.
Shit, man, I'll see a big ass dog like that running. I ain't gonna care. The only, like, I've had like pit bulls and stuff like that in the past, huskies, etc. But if I was to get another dog now, bro, it's gonna be a small little dog, bro, a lap dog. I ain't doing big dogs no more. Too much.
Some canines are
holy bro. How tall is this motherfucker, bro?
Big enough to take you off the registry. Once dogs hit that 140 to 150 pound range, they go from a loud inconvenience.
See, that would be my dog. This one right here, this little guy right here. This one, nah. And buddy, why is you on the couch?
Something whose free will could potentially put you in.
Bro, that motherfucker is huge.
A dirt motel. Bigger than that, and you got the kind of dog where every breath you take is by his blessing. Real quick, this isn't to demonize any breed or inspire you to test your luck against your dog. And also, don't take this too seriously.
Oh, I seen this one.
No
This is
Fantasy
funny.
Fight Club loves hills to die on. But first we got the Kangle Shepherd is a Turkish Fido flex bred as a livestock guardian dog against jackals, wolves, and bears. Males on average get from 110 to 150 pounds, but ask around. Someone will tell you about their 180 pound attitude adjustment. An important distinction is that these aren't herding dogs. They're guarding dogs. The canine insurance policy pretty much are part of the herd.
So those type of dogs, they protect other animals from
predators that flock around very quickly find out. Kangles will defend theirs in any situation, and while the cellmate or Cerberus prefers intimidation, they'll catch a clean body if it gets there. The catch is, since Kangles are built to defend the defenseless, they're unironically really good with children. But with a temper more trigger-happy than the state of Texas, nothing steps to a member of a Kangle's herd without getting read in an obituary.
I would not be able to have a dog that drools like that when they bark and stuff, bro. I don't know. There's something about me, bro. I don't like dog hair. I don't like dogs being in the bed. I just feel like you're bringing whatever is outside when you're taking a piss as a dog, and then you bring it into the crib, and then you're hopping into the bed. You're low key sleeping in bed, bro, because it's on their fur paws. That's just me.
Apparently, some Kangles have snapped at their owners for getting too close to their own sheep. With Kangles having the strongest bite of any dog at an alleged 743 pounds per square inch, a snap from a helicoptering horsehound hits.
Whoa, that looks like a shark tooth, bro.
Much different. They're so protective, they even protect some of the predators they were hired against. In Namibia, ranchers and cheetahs share an area code, and in a world where a dead cow can set your entire family back, many cheetahs become chalk outlines in the name of asset protection. But having Kangles and Anatolians on site, which as far as I understand are Americanized Kangles, the cheetahs get run off by canine conflict resolution before the ranchers—
So even the cheetahs are scared of them dogs? That is crazy.
Have to reach for a permanent solution. The Kangle option actually reduced cheetah trappings and killings by 80%, and in some places they're providing the same deterrent service to wolves. So all in all, they're still a good dog. Just
Aw, they're cute when they're puppies. Man, why can't puppies just look like puppies forever, bruh?
it's not for everyone. And not just because they need space, experience, and most importantly, a purpose. They need discipline. Because gentle parenting means Turkish Tank rips your arm out of the socket the first time he sees a squirrel.
Oh hell no, I could not do that, bro. I am so sorry. I know there's people that love big dogs in general, but I could not.
Fluffy boulder would send you back to the mountains they spawned from. Forged in the mountains of Caucasus, the Caucasian Shepherd is also called the Russian Bear Dog, even though they're not Russian, and you're liable for a lecture if you call them that in front of the wrong person. They also weren't bred to hunt bears.
Bro, they look like bears.
They're also livestock life insurance. It's just that calorie blocking a bear might just come with a job description. The blow-dry Tasmanian Devil comes in two forms, the longer-coated mountain type and the shorter-coated steppe version. The mountain brand are the big boys, and usually the ones...
I ain't gonna lie, I'm learning a lot watching this video. I need to start reacting to a lot more of his content because I feel like I'm learning. Feels like I'm in school. What did you learn in school today, son? Dogs.
that can get to over 200 pounds. And I promise you, you are not choking out a Wolverine on creatine with war experience. The dog, also called the ovcharka, was used in World War II as Soviet Union guards that would gatekeep Soviet gulags. So they might not send you there, but they'll keep you in its custody. So even though they didn't originate in Russia, before the Soviet Union developed an atomic bomb, they mobilized a furry nuke in the form of Fido. Also, a good amount would patrol the Berlin Wall, and after the wall came down and the dogs were adopted out, many of the veterans would suddenly remember their orders whenever near the past tense wall and would robotically walk in obedience to a wall that wasn't there. So yeah, folks messed around and created an absolute unit of a sleeper agent, and it isn't until you have about 200 pounds of dog resisting your will that you realize what the mountains of Caucasus were cooking. There's a reason this domesticated bear is used in Russian prisons. Imagine packs of ovcharka.
Damn, that dog was barking at all the people and whoever's holding that camera, bro.
Because roaming the city of Berlin at the expense of anyone unlucky enough to run into them. Well, you don't need him.
You would not be able to own one of these dogs just in the place that you're renting, bro. You would have to own the property that the dog is living on. Ain't no apartment complex, duplex, renting a house, condo, townhome, whatever the case. Everyone's gonna deny you, and if you end up trying to sneak this dog into your crib, bro, you getting kicked out.
Imagination. For one of the dogs next, it's a reality.
Cane Corso.
This is honestly the first place my mind
Damn, that thing looked like a panther.
went after hearing about the man versus dog debate. You tell him to sit, he looks at you like this. What is your next move? Daikujo decides to climb on your couch where he knows he's not allowed. What is your view?
I would be so scared if I saw this. If I was just, walking in the snow, just chilling, you vibing, you feel me? And then I just see this thing just staring at me, bro. I'm crying. I'm gonna just sit on my ass on the ground and just start crying. It's over.
I pray it's not a rolled up newspaper. He's gonna make you a small section of the next one. Latin is like a linguistic black light that tells the full story of a word. And when you shine it on Cane Corso, canis is dog, and Corso or cohors refers to guard, specifically a military guard dog. Corsos, or actually Corsai, are kind of the guard dog, and they're descended from ancient Rome.
I don't know this guy's name, Casual Geographic. I don't know his actual name, so we're just gonna call him Cass for casual. But anyways, I wonder if he just already has this knowledge about the topics that he talks about in his videos, or if he does like his homework and then creates the video. Like, did he do research on these dogs before making the video, or does he just happen to have a huge brain and just have a lot of knowledge on things?
Roman war dogs known as Canis pugnax. For Corsai, the Italian mastiff would attack enemy lines in battle with buckets of flaming, scalding hot oil strapped to their backs. Fun fact, in my culture, cani is the name of a spice you put on dishes, and to me it's all good, but to someone who's never had it before or doesn't know how to handle it, it can be an over-seasoned assault in the senses. Same story with the uber black of dogs. Handle them wrong and they're a one-way trip straight to Valhalla. And with many over 120 pounds, I do believe every conscious breath you take is with their consent. Again, they're guard dogs that protect their pack, and within it, they're docile family dogs that you can trust with the kids. But the same dog that can tear a wild boar in half like a phone book would absolutely turn you into coffin fodder in a fight.
Can you just imagine, you know how it is like when you're like a kid and like your mom or dad sends you to your room and you're grounded, and then you get so mad and worked up and you slam the door or whatever and you get all mad, I'm gonna run away, fuck you mom, you feel me? I wonder how this dog would react if he just got upset at his owner. His dog owner was just like, bro, I want another scoop of food, bro. Put another scoop in. If you don't do it, just raps, my boy. Like, no, I could never have a pet that could eat me, bro. No. It's not happening.
This might be the most underrated dog out here. First time I saw one, I genuinely thought it was a customized Cane. And while they look similar, at up to and often over 140 pounds, the Presa Canario somehow tankier than the canine Italian stallion. Don't get it twisted, the Spanish Mastiff off the Canary Islands.
At this point, can we even trust what we're looking at? Because now AI is crazy. So what if this is like an AI image, bro?
Islands is 404 in most men. They just might have been brought over by Spanish conquistadors, and they were admired for their intelligence, toughness, and like a fitted sheet they won't fold. But they were also bred specifically to exterminate wild or stray dogs. And that's something I'm gonna touch on later, because LGDs like Ovchakas, they're not meant to murk predators. Just discourage them. They bred the Presa Canario to erase other dogs. That's basically a canine assassin. The hired gun was also a reoccurring character in dogfight,
AKA the hitmans, bro.
rings, even after it was criminalized.
They get hired to kill, bro.
Because of this, the pride of the Canary Islands almost went extinct in the 60s. Luckily, a breed society, Club Español de Presa Canario, was formed, and they came up with a breed standard. The standard was approved in '89, and the Presa Canario was recognized as the official dog of the Canary Islands. The goal was to help the Presa make a comeback, and today they're still going strong. They have a lifespan that can last over a decade, despite all the nerfs that come with being a big dog. Which means we're talking about the dog that has fought its own kind, its own biology, and literal extinction. Not the type I want to start problems with. Now that the record showed the muscle of Canary is the equivalent of a canine wet wipe around family, but any burglars getting blacklisted from the census.
Tibetan mastiff. What?
Once upon a time, a zoo in China caught heat for trying to pass off a dog as an African lion. Oh, it didn't last long, and they were for sure wrong, but when you
They honestly look like lions. I was literally about to say, man, that looks like a damn lion. Some of these dogs look like bears, some of these look like lions, bro.
squint at a Tibetan Mastiff, you see their inspiration. This wolfy mammoth is one of the oldest dog breeds alive, and they were used to protect Buddhist monasteries and Tibetan monks from apex threats like wolves, bears, and snow leopards. Traditionally, the hound of the Himalayas would sleep all day and patrol the villages at night, so if you take in a Tibetan Mastiff, you may find their habits nocturnal.
And their habits are backwards.
They're built different. I'm talking genetically sequenced abnormally. Back in the day, Tibetan Mastiffs were bred with Tibetan wolves because the dogs have a special protein that helps red blood cells carry oxygen 50% more efficiently. This mutation does not appear in other dogs, but you do see it in the Tibetan subspecies of gray wolf, which is why the sentient hair salon pile can survive such a high altitude. It's not hard to see how a full-grown literal Clifford can send wolves running. And that's what I wanted to mention. These are guardian dogs, not attack dogs. They don't want you dead, necessarily. Just gone. They're not out here looking for smoke, and if you have one, you'll find that
They definitely know how to make you gone by scaring you.
the most dangerous thing about them is the constant slobbering can be a slip hazard. But there's a catch.
Like I said, I could never do a dog that slobbers or a dog that snores or like pugs like when they breathe, bro. I get
Tibetan
annoyed.
Mastiff wasn't just insurance. They were a status symbol, especially in China. One named Big Splash sold for $1.5 million, so they can ruin you physically and financially. The problem is, like all fat,
That could never be me, bro. 1.5 mil on a dog that won't be here in 10 years from now, bro. Hell nah, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of big animal lovers out there, and I get that. I love that for y'all, but I'm not a huge, like, I love animals, but I'm not a huge animal lover like that, bro.
type faded fast, and the outcome
Some of y'all be kissing y'all dogs on the lips and stuff, bro.
was more abandoned mastiffs than anyone knew what to do with. Except the dogs. The Tibetan persuasion started forming feral packs where they've killed livestock, hunted native Boerboel sheep, and even attacked ancient enemies like snow leopards, bears, and now even humans. Now we've got thousands of feral Uber dogs roaming the Tibetan plateau, making life air-conditioned hell for snow leopards and putting paws and jaws in any people that happen to cross their paths. It's basically what happened to pigeons in America, but I've never seen a pigeon
Wait, what happened to pigeons in America? What, pigeons are going extinct in America? What's happening?
wolf. I don't know what's with all the videos of Tibetan mastiffs and wolves in the same place, but I have not seen one where the dog doesn't completely bully the albeit smaller Asian wolves. And speaking of wolves, at least the wild ones are afraid of humans. We genetically engineered a weapon of mass destruction. And it's completely our fault. Mastiffs in general are a canine flex. They'll have you mad stiff. As in rigor mortis, the bull mastiff looks like a sweetheart that could genuinely bench press your family.
Man, what? Bro, what's your workout routine, bro? I need that.
The Neapolitan mastiff was literally built on
How does he see?
honey badger principles. Loose skin so that even when clamped, they can always turn around and face their problems. But it also makes them look like a victimized pizza pie, cheese sliding right off.
These dogs are ugly as fuck, bro.
But we can't forget the English Mastiff, one of the few dogs that could successfully maul a wolf. For reference, the beast from Sandlot was an English Mastiff, and the record for the heaviest dog is held by Ika Mazorba, an English Stiffy weighing 343 pounds. And of course, we can't forget my favorite Mastiff, and honestly dog, the Rottweiler.
343-pound dog, bro.
This Rizahond is an easy attitude adjustment for any man that thinks he can whoop any dog. But one dog you would absolutely get worked by is... The Boerboel is a massive 200-pound vibe check of a pet. They were bred as a South African farm dog to protect the home against threats like leopards and even baboons. Ironically, it's the baboons I'm impressed by. You see, there's a lot of stories about this farmer dog, aura, as the kids say. There's one story of a Boerboel life-depriving 4 leopards in a row before losing to a 5th. Another story goes like this. The king of Albania gifted Alexander the Great a massive Boerboel, but when Alex tried to get the dog to hunt, the dog seemingly refused, so Mr. Macedon did the sensible thing and murked the dog for insolence. Until the king said the dog wasn't lazy, just bored, and that these dogs were meant to hunt big game. Like elephant big. So apparently they sent a replacement, and this Boerboel won Alexander over after breaking a lion's back and forcing an elephant off a cliff. Do I believe it? Absolutely not, but it helps my narrative if I pretend I do. But it
that part, wait, what?
It's true, is the same Boerboel that squares up with big cats and baboons also has the personality of a weighted blanket. Unless...
See, I can't do that, bro. Like I said, I know people that are like that, man. But, bro, 2 big-ass dogs damn near crushing you on your couch, man. No.
You threaten their family, in which case they'll put you in an ashtray. They're basically a guard dog that got promoted and invited out to hunts, which is actually the opposite of... The Rhodesian Ridgeback might seem like a token pick, but hear me out. They're the inverse of Boerboels. They were so good at hunting, they eventually got promoted to guards. With a max weight of like 120 pounds, the Ridgeback is the lightest dog in this video.
I was about to just say, this dog looks like he could run fast as hell, though.
They get the nod because they were used to hunt lions, along with the usual suspects like wild pigs and baboons. Now I should probably explain, when I say hunt lions, I don't mean these dogs are out here giving Simba the belt to butt. There isn't a dog alive that can beat a lion. No dog exists that can 1v1 a bear, and pretty much all would get folded by a full-grown all-American Northwestern wolf. By hunting, really the Rhodesian Ridgebacks would bay the lions, not straight up attack them, but harass them, applying constant pressure until eventually the hunters showed up. The best way I can explain it is these wolves mobbing a black bear and basically escorting him away from their pups hidden in the grass. Rhodesian...
Damn, man. These wild animals are crazy, I ain't gonna lie, bro. The wild is the whole saying. It's a dog eat dog world, bro. It's a everyone eat everyone world.
Rhodesians more so keep the lion in one place, which is arguably just as impressive. It takes a lot of intelligence to pin a predator 5 times your size, and yeah, Ridgebacks are creepily smart. Ask around, some will even say they're human. And that's a level of intelligence I'm not trying to deal with. One thing I do love is a dog that went against literal lions is also mad sensitive. They do not respond well to harshness, and you unironically have to watch how you talk to them because they will take it personally. They're basically gifted teenagers. I
ain't gonna lie, this is the type of dog I'd probably get. Not too big, not too small. Intelligent, and they're sensitive. Aww.
They're not for the disciplines.
Okay, maybe this is the one dog that can hop into bed with you. You know, if you make that dog sleep on the floor, bro, that dog got feelings, man. That dog gonna be like whining all night.
Keep it positive. You know, I almost forgot to mention the Dogo Argentino. A mistake that would have been. Basically, a teenager in the 1920s unlocked free will and decided to create the best possible hunter dog. He took traits...
Puppies are so cute. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, if we could just make all dog breeds just stay as puppies, if someone can come up with a formula to just inject a puppy to stay as a puppy,
like
I mean, no.
Tracking of a pointer, the height of a Great Dane, the Pyrenean Mastiff's calm temperament, and the boxer's overall athleticism, and crossbred them with the now extinct Cordoba fighting dog. Eventually, he created an Argentinian Mastiff, and to prove its strength, he pitted his dog against a wild boar and a mountain lion, gladiator style. Only the dog made it out.
Wow.
I wouldn't even believe that if it wasn't for the story of Morocho, the Dogo Argentino, allegedly killing a puma to save his 2 human girls. Ooh. Allegedly, because I'm not entirely sure it's true. I still can't see one soloing a healthy mountain lion, but the narrative has been set. So W Morocho. They might not be the biggest, but it's an explosive cannonball of a canine athlete that could overwhelm a grown man on the right day. They're tough enough to endure hours of trekking through rough terrain and still have enough juice to wrestle an animal 3 times its size. But if I ever saw this in an alley, my soul would auto-connect to the Wi-Fi in the sky. Now that's real Bluetooth. By now, you probably recognize the pattern. If a dog was bred as a livestock guardian in the mountains, it's likely the last dog you ever want issues with. And that is everything the Central Asian Shepherd dog is. The CAS, or Alibi, is another LGD spawning from Central Asia, and one of the few dogs that can honestly be
holy, yeah, that's a big ass dog.
Polar bear. And while most of the dogs here are a matter of speculation and my personal bias, with the symbol of canine country strength often weighing over 200 pounds, a full-grown specimen motivated by malicious intent would dismantle an able-bodied man. And as one of the oldest dogs, humans didn't really do that much to breed them. They were honestly bred more by the harsh environment than anything. Just an overall unit of everything a dog can be, and likely the biggest dog most people have never heard of. Again, this isn't a demon.
Yeah, there are a lot of these dogs that we went over, y'all. I haven't heard of them. And now most of the dogs look like I've seen the dog before, like in movies, TV shows, maybe even in person, but never knew the name or the breed of the dog. You feel me?
Any breed in particular. I just figured the man versus dog thing gave me an excuse to talk about him, and I don't think I ever did make a dog video. So, you know, 2 birds, 1 stone and stuff. And if you're a man who thinks they can solo everything on this list, you got it. Don't take it too.
I mean, yeah, I can. Of course, all of them. When they're puppies.
Serious, although I haven't made an animal versus animal video in a minute. Now there's an idea. Reminder that I have a book rating animals by how likely they are to murk you, and dogs are on there. Their rating might just surprise you, but that's gonna do it. Drink water, hug your mother, always research the breed before you end up with a bear in your backseat. Acknowledge my shirt, please, and I'ma see y'all in the next one.
That cat is like, can I come in too? Oh! I was not expecting.
What the f*** are you doing?
What, bro? I was just...
How did you get up there?
That's the end of the video. But the dog is like, what, bro? I was just chilling. I just, you know, wanted to come outside and get some air, you know? Chilling, bro. Hey, man, if you guys made it to the end, I greatly appreciate it, y'all, man. Look, smash the like button, leave a comment, click that bell while you're at it. Till next time, I'm going to see y'all next time. I'm out.